Hey y'all, welcome back to Midge in the Making. Today I'm doing a video about an efficient kitchen, something that works for you. You enjoy being in there because if you're the primary cook of the house, you want to love being in your space. Now mind you, you're going to see some things in my kitchen that still need a lot of work or need touch-up work or need to be still changed. But I thought I'd give you an overview of my kitchen. I have had some people ask me if I would do close-ups of my storage that I have in my kitchen that I'm showing you a picture of now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come in, I'm going to zoom in and show you what works, what I'd like to change. If there's anything I do mention that I want to change, it'll be in here. If I'm just stating I have it, that means I already love it, and I may not iterate that, but I just want to share this with you about having a functioning kitchen that works for you. It's efficient. You can move around in it. Now, my house that Bobby and I live in, our house, is over 100 years old. It's gone through some transformation since we've been here, and it works for us. I love our kitchen, and it's a functioning kitchen. That means we use every space. I turn my dishes, they're always being washed, they're always being used, they're not on display. I learned the hard way. Having things on display means, now mind you, I have things on display that are up top, like up here on the top of my shelf. I have to bring them down and clean them. They're there, they're ordinate. They're not something I bring down and use. I do have that in my kitchen. But overall, everything in my kitchen is efficient and used. That means I'm turning it, washing it. It's not just sitting and collecting dust. I learned the hard way not to do that because I have so many more dishes than this, and I'm not using them all because honestly, I'm getting to a stage in my life where I want to make sure that where I'm putting my energy and where I'm putting my hands to work is working for me, not against me. And having things that are ordinate ends up being that I'm just washing it and putting it back up, washing it and putting it back up, and I have to get up there and take it down. So a lot of my things are gone from my kitchen now because I wasn't using them. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you what works in my kitchen and where I have some areas I'd like to change. All right, we're above my kitchen sink. I have my dishwasher here and my cabinets. And my cabinets that are below my sink, not real organized, but it's as organized, and I need to get back under there and organize under my sink again. But I do have things in there that keep my trash bags and my cleaners and things pretty organized. And my vacuum bags and things like that. Just up here, I'm going to kind of give you an overview before I go in. All those dishes you see are my dinner dishes, my breakfast bowls, my cups that we use and rotate every day. The coffee, tea, and the cocoa and the filters are used. The things above that, though, are just ordinate. They are things that I've collected over the years that give me some joy, and I love having them. So anyway, for the most part, these two shelves I can reach. And that's another thing, the third, or really the second and the third shelf that I have ordnance on, or decorations, I bring them down usually every spring, and I clean them, and I clean down my shelves, because kitchens, they get very, I don't know, there's like a mist and an oil that gets in your kitchen from cooking, and kind of got to defunk your kitchen. So anyway, I bring all that down and I clean it. Same with my refrigerator top. So, but this last shelf where the cups and everything are, and my containers, my canisters, all of that is rotated. And I use that almost every day, if not every day. With a few decorations overall, it's a cabinet or a shelf, and then all the cups are used. And then of course, my canisters here, these are used, and one of them, these are metal. They look like glass almost, but they're metal. And in one of them, I keep my pods for my Keurig. The other one has Bobby's Sleepy Time tea in it. then the little sugar dish, and the butter bell. I don't know how I feel about this butter bell. Your butter's not supposed to mold in it. I change it like clockwork. Every day when I make coffee, I change my water out. And I have still found mold in my butter bell. And it's supposed to keep your butter for up to a month. Like I said, I have mixed feelings on my butter bell. And it doesn't have anything in it right now. This is what it looks like. That's your bell. And there's a line in here. And you're supposed to fill that up to that line with cold water every day. You change out your water. And then you re-immerse your bell back into it. And it's supposed to keep your butter protected, and so it doesn't mold, and it stays spreadable and fresh. Well, I've actually the other day, about 3 or 4 days ago, probably a little longer, not really remembering the date, I was spreading butter on a piece of bread, the last of my bread at that, and I was making me something to eat. And I scraped away at the bottom of the butter belt, and there was mold. So I had to throw what I was eating away, gonna eat. I wasn't eating it yet. And I was just really disappointed because I hadn't had the butter in there that long. Now, probably there's a lot of people that swear by the butter bell. I make sure no food touches the inside of the butter and stays in there. Any crumbs from bread or anything. I'm very careful, but still, I get mold. So anyway, have mixed feelings on that. Then over here, I just have my coffee pot with a single and a single cup, and the pot on the Keurig side for the coffee pot. And I have my water teapot and my paper towels and my soap, my hand soap and dish soap. And then just a place to drain extra dishes in case they don't all fit in the dishwasher. I prefer the dishwasher because I feel like it gets everything cleaner. I am a dishwasher fan. And I've been without dishwashers, and so I feel like they definitely have their place with illnesses to keep everything and everyone healthy, because it gives you a hot water that you cannot handle with your hands. But anyway, we're going to move to the next section of my kitchen. All right, so again, this is a place that we built, and it has some decorations on it, and it has bowls that I definitely use, my metal and my glass, some cookbooks, and then my casserole dishes and my baskets that I use. And on occasion, I use Teflon. Very little do I use Teflon pans. I use cast iron and enamel for almost all my cooking. But that's a preference. I have my salad spinner, some pie dishes, some little Pyrex dishes. Well, they're not Pyrex. They're actually, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Pioneer Woman. But anyway, and some others. The little dishes for putting my spices in, and then just some bakeware. And then, of course, my Ziploc bags and saran wrap and aluminum foil. Now, again, all of this can be rinsed and used at a moment's notice if it sits too long on the shelf, because some things like that one tray back there, right here, behind the lamp comes in handy when there's no power. So I have one of those on hand. That one actually needs new oil. I have oil, I just don't have oil in it. But anyway, I have that platter back there. I have so many platters that are just up. I no longer use them. But anyway, I have a tortilla warmer, some more casserole dishes right there on the top, those white ones. So all of these things come in handy. I can turn around from wherever I'm at and grab something to put a dish that I'm making. And then there's another platter down there. I definitely am in need of a spring clean, so you're going to see dust. You're going to see the things that I don't use every day, they get kind of dusty, and you know, so there is real life in this. Some of these are my pressure canning books over there. I keep them close by for canning. And then I just have my marble table that I use. It's my cutting surface. It's where I roll out dough, things like that. I have a recipe under that right now, under my bread thing. This is where I put my bread and my rolls and things. I got a recipe right here because I'm going to be cooking later. So anyway, I'm going to turn you around and I'm going to show you some other parts of the kitchen. Okay, so now we're going to get a little closer to, I have a lot of storage, or it appears that I do, and I really wanted this storage to work out a whole lot different. This is one of the areas where I need improvement. I have so much stuff, lids for canning and things like that that always need to be stored, extra dishes that go in the refrigerator for organizing the refrigerator, all kinds of different things. They end up in these drawers and in these cabinets, things for baking. It's all in there, and I'm telling you, I'm not even going to open it. I'd be embarrassed. It's a mess. Since we've done the kitchen, I still, in my spring clean, hope I can organize this better, or I'm surely going to try. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep this video short and move up and go through things. Because I was asked to do this, I'm going to. Up here, I have my Instapot. I love that thing. It's just your regular Instapot. If it had the yogurt one on there, I would be so happy. That one doesn't. It just has porridge and things like that. And then I have the Insta Vortex Plus, which is my air fryer, and in my KitchenAid. Above that, I have 3 baskets where I put my onions, potatoes, chips, and snacks. That's not all of them, but it's things I use to pack Bobby's lunches or to cook with. And it makes it handy. I don't have any right now, but I could put cookies and things in there so I can grab them quickly for Bobby. And then above that is all my jars. Now I'm gonna go in because I was asked to. I have sugar, jasmine rice, brown sugar, all-purpose flour, powdered milk, and cornmeal on this shelf. And then my measuring cups. Now, I'm short. In case you haven't noticed in my videos, I'll make that known. And I have to, when I go up to I can reach this shelf where the measuring cups are and across, but when I get up here, I knew this was gonna happen, so we actually bought a step stool. So this next one, I have granola, potato starch, self-rising flour, rolled oats, powdered sugar, and my rice flour. I have to use a step stool to get here, because I knew in going that. And then up there, up higher, I'm just gonna do that. Those are just decorative things that I bring down and clean every once in a while. But this is a working kitchen. I can pull down and I can make bread. I can make granola. I can make rice. I can make rolls. I can make pizza, sub rolls, you name it. From here, with all of that, this is what works for me, because I just grab that jar and I know what it is. I don't have to guess. I've got it labeled and I'm good to go. So I can make anything that I need to from having all of that on hand like that. These are not airtight, but I rotate these out and then I wash my jars before I refill, and I do my process of how I do my flour, which I have a video on. Of all my flour, all my cereals, all my oats, I do them in the same way on my flour video. I didn't mention them, but I did kind of, I think. But anyway, it talked about doing how to store flour long term. I do all of my flour products, including my cereal, the same way, so that I can store it long term. So we're gonna move from here over to my spice rack. All right, the top spices here in my spice rack are just some that I store-bought from Walmart, and they're your sea salt with jalapeno, roasted garlic herbs, sea salt, black pepper, habanero lime, Cajun seasoning, and then some sprinkles, some adobo seasoning right there, and a thankful, grateful, blessed little ornament thing. My recipe cards, which is full of recipes, and I collect recipes. And then my Mrs. Dash and things like that that I don't have a jar for. And then when you come down, they're very uneven, but they're mine, and that's okay with me. These are my jars that I picked up on Amazon, along with this seasoning rack. I wish I could give you it's pretty long. It would hold a lot of seasonings. I think I got 60 jars here, if I'm not mistaken, of seasoning. And I refill them as I go. These are double on each rack. And this just shows how I set this up. And then below it, I could add more jars, but instead I put my measuring cups so I know where they are. I already broke one of my pictograph, I think they're called. I was really sad about that. But anyway, I use these all the time and I enjoy them. Instead of putting them up and having them be ordinate, I thought, you know, I'm going to use them. And then down here on another shelf, just an old cast iron shelf that I had picked up at a yard sale, I have my 3 enamel pans that I use almost every day for something. I love them. I got them on Amazon. and they're quite dusty right now, and I need to go through and clean them and clean my shelf. But that's pretty much my spices and my spice rack and my enamelware. Sorry for, I'm pretty short, and some of this is very tall. Bobby's very tall. He's over 6 foot, and I'm not. And when we think of things and he does them, sometimes he does them at his height and not mine. Like my bathroom mirror, I can't see into it. So anyway, that's this. Shelving for my enamel and for my measuring cups, and then my seasoning. All right, here on this shelf is all my airtight containers that holds my walnuts, pecans, baking powder, baking soda, brown sugar, chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, semolina flour, cranberries, and that's a cranberry walnut mix for salads. That's up there. They're airtight, and I do have the little packets that keep moisture out. But you can't see them. I hide them. I don't like them to be seen. I don't think they're real pretty. These are all smudgy right now and need washed. Down here, and these are 1/2 gallon jars with just a lid, and I hold sesame seeds, salt. This is like a organic brown or organic sugar. I have some other things behind it that I use all the time. This is a cozy coffee that I use, and I make a good coffee. I can give that recipe to you if you want it. And this is a type of tea that I really love. That has the tapioca balls in it, or tapioca, yeah, whatever those things are. Anyway, and that's salt. So down here, I have my baskets for my bread, some tea that I pulled out because this payday we had to be more careful, and soda's not on my grocery list. My cornstarch is down here, and that's my this and that. So that means that's my bottle opener, ravioli maker, donut maker, my measuring spoons that go in this and that. Things that I would have, you know, I need to have on hand. And down there, and the last one is just pastas. It's lasagna noodles. Oh, there's some lasagna noodles, matter of fact. I was thinking I had none. I do have some. Praise the Lord. Pasta, shells, sesame seeds, some noodles for making ramen, and some other bow tie, and then spaghetti. These are all still good. They need to just be used, and it's time to rotate them out. So anyway, that's my kitchen in a nutshell. Well, actually, I got one more place I'm going to show, two more places I'm going to show you. All right, over here is where I keep, my son James and Bobby built this. My son James came to visit. I was so grateful to have him in my home. And he was only here for a few days, and we were in the midst of, he came when we were getting ready to do the kitchen the very first time, right after we purchased the house. And I asked him if he would build me something, because he's really good with his hands. And this is what he built me. Now, Bobby's had to reconstruct this to get this bad boy refrigerator that we just purchased in here. I love my refrigerator. I praise the Lord for my refrigerator. We had an old white one that you had to bend into. The drawers were on the bottom. Everything was inconvenient. And I love this refrigerator. It's got a way bigger freezer. It has an ice maker. I don't think I've ever in my whole life of 57 years had an ice maker and water in my house for my refrigerator. I'm so excited to have that. So I give God the glory, and what a blessing that is. But anyway, back to this shelf. I wanted somewhere, actually I had my Polish pottery here for the longest time. It collects dust. One of those things that I just felt like wasn't working in my kitchen. I didn't use it enough to rotate it out and to keep things clean. I do have decorations here to make me happy, and they bring a smile to my face and joy to my heart. So my little birds, my little rise and shine, because it always reminds me to finish that line and say rise and shine and give God the glory. And so I have my rolling pins up there and some baskets in case I want to put a casserole in them. And this is where my cast iron is. And it's an egg basket down there. When we had chickens, that thing was always full of eggs. There's a working basket. I just don't have chickens right now. But I use all of my cast iron. And this is one of the places I have it. I have a few more pieces that are on my stove that I'm going to show you. But this is, I'll stand back a little and try to get that in there. There's our work boots for the garden, and that's our laundry room over there. And there's a freezer in there. So anyway, this is this part of the house. I'm going to show you something real neat. I hope I remember to do it. If I don't, it's about a half door. Remind me about a half door in the comments if I forget to tell y'all. It comes in really handy. So anyway, I'm just gonna turn the camera a little bit, and I'm gonna try to do it slow. In my kitchen, I have plants. I don't know why, but I love plants in my kitchen. I think it brings me happiness. I wish they were herbs instead of just plants that are not edible. But this is what I have, and some of these are gifted from friends that I've had for years. One of them is now passed away, and I have a little plant that she gave me. So this is a place where I don't have decorated right now, but that white two-tier tray I usually decorate for the holidays. I just took my Christmas things out, hoping to get my spring in there and make me have some flowers out here. This is where I keep my utensils that I use every day. But this shelf down here is very important. That's where all my canning stuff is. That's my canners, things like that. They're all in there. They're hidden, but they're where I can get to them. My pressure canners and my water bath canner and all the things that go with it. And finally, my stove area, if I haven't shown this yet. I have my microwave above my stove with ventilation. And there's some more of my cast iron. We went from electric to gas, and it wasn't really just because we wanted to. I've been canning for a lot of years, and we had an electric stove, and I even tried a cheaper way out than buying a new stove to get a new burner, but I can, and with pressure, I had my biggest burner on my electric stove go out, and I thought I could just replace it and put a canning element there. It still didn't work, so it was something within the stove that went wrong and went bad. And it was a white stove. It was a nice stove, and we actually put it out, and someone picked it up. Hopefully they can get lots of use out of it. But anyway, we went to gas because it's more efficient. If the power goes out, we still have gas. Lord willing, they don't do anything to our gas stoves, and we get to keep them. But anyway, this is my griddle and my pan that I use that pan almost every day for cooking Bobby breakfast, my breakfast. And then back there, that was the one I did my tortillas on just recently. And then one of the things I really love in my kitchen is my knife block, where I put all my knives on that magnetic, whatever you want to call that thing. But it's a great place to put your knives out of the way, but they're at hand. I don't want a lot of stuff in my kitchen that's electronic or doodads. I want them hidden. So it's a nice place to hide my knives and keep them where they just get washed, dried, and put back up. So anyway, it's not perfect, but it's mine. It's what works for me. And my oven is also a double oven. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I wish I had one big oven, but when I'm making pizzas and I'm making breads, it's great. When I make a turkey, not so much. So that's definitely a choice depending on how you cook and clean and how you do your kitchen. So this is my kitchen though in a nutshell. I thought I would share it with you. I'm also going to do one on my pantry because I have questions on that also. But someone asked me to do close-ups of things because I did an overall of my kitchen, but I didn't show how my kitchen came together and worked for me. So I'm doing that now, trying to do it without a lot of blundering. It's early, so I'm kind of more alert than normal. This is the other thing I wanted to show you. Let's walk this way. See this half door? It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but if you have animals and you have a door that goes to your kitchen and you don't want your smaller children maybe, and you got to cook and clean and you have a kitchen like mine, you can close said door and be dog free. It's not pretty. Well, you know, it's not ugly either. You could decorate it, I guess, if you wanted. I don't. But this is a way that I keep my dogs out. Well, I have one dog now. We did have two. Out from under my feet when I'm cooking and canning, and I need to shoo them out of the kitchen. Delilah don't like it, but there's just times that I need to have her out from under my feet because she wants to be right where I need to go, or right where I've just been and I've got to get back to, you know, vice versa. And she wants to find out what I'm doing before I'm doing it. It's kind of like she gets in front of me and says, okay, mommy, lead the way. And I'm trying to get around her to go where I'm going. So anyway, this is when you walk into my kitchen, my messy dining room, because my dining room, That's a place that doesn't work for me right now. It's better than it was, but I do all my editing for my videos over there on that long mat that Bobby got me that's way too long, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain. He was really excited to get that for me, and it's really big. It's bigger than my table. If I had a square table, it would work, but you can see it hanging off of that black hanging off my round table. But anyway, it's a work in progress in the dining room. I'll show you my dining room just because some people love to see even the mess. So I'm going to show you it. This is a room I would love to have where Bobby and I could actually sit. My sewing machines and my serger are over there. I have 2 sewing machines and a serger, and my things that I sew with. All of my other sewing stuff, and then some dishes that I don't have anywhere to put right now. In my organization, there's still holes. There's still things I need to do. So yeah. And then some ribbons I had picked up. They're back there in that orange yellow box thing. And then some jars that I need to refill with food and can. I have canning coming up. But this is keeping it real. It's not perfect. It needs work. I painted that table with chalk paint and redid my coverings on my chairs. And I made all of my curtains in my kitchen are made from drop cloth. And those, because if you look at my windows, like they're huge. That's a huge window. That's a lot of space to cover. I got PVC paint. We painted it black, and we've got hooks up there, and I made those curtains, and I can wash them. For the most part, they're holding up. It's been a few years since I did them, but I've even tried taking the curtains down and having the view when it's beautiful outside, because there is quite a view in this room. Unfortunately, in the summer, this gets so hot in here. It just makes our electric bill go up. And in the winter, it's cold. So these windows, as big as they are, and the beauty that I would have with having them open, we can't afford to do it. So I have to close my windows off, because it's better for my power bill and my gas bill. So anyway, that's my dining room. This is a view from coming out of my big dining, or my little dining room. Why am I saying big? It's small. It's just an add-on. Excuse me. Basically, my kitchen is 3 rooms. The one right here where the sink was the main kitchen. And the room I'm standing, which is behind me, is my dining room, is an add-on. Where the refrigerator is an add-on. When Bobby and I moved over here, none of that existed, literally. I mean, it was no floor. You could see the lumber for where the floor joists, you could see, or there was a floor there, but it wasn't a flooring. And the walls were open, no insulation. Where the refrigerator is, none of that existed. None of it. Even this wood that Bobby did for the doorway, that door or that jamb or whatever you want, the archway, none of that existed. It was all open sheetrock. This room did not exist. The kitchen cabinets are all new. These are not expensive. These are the cheapest cabinet you can get at Lowe's. I wished I would have known about Home Depot, because those Home Depot ones are more expensive. They're better made, and they're their base cabinet. So if you are starting out and you have a budget of say $5,000 to $7,000, and you want to do something in your kitchen like we did, we started with that. We had $5,000 to work with, which is not a lot for a kitchen. I dreamed big, and with a little bit of money. We literally had linoleum that was peeling off the floor in here, and we didn't have a lot of money to work with, and we dreamed really big. But anyway, that base cabinet, the one to the left is a base cabinet from Lowe's. But look at the difference on the base cabinet on the right that came from Home Depot. You got more, the wood is better, it's better built, and they just are, that one came white. I painted it. I wish I wouldn't have had to, because my paint's yellowing from the coating I had to put on it so it'd be washable. But anyway, they come already painted. They don't come with knobs, but they come already painted. and they're just a better quality wood. I would open them, but they're a mess. I will, one day when I do my spring cleaning, maybe even show you them. But anyway, I just want to show this kitchen to you and tell you, dream big, start small. Dream really big though, write it out. I drew my kitchen on a piece of paper and told Bobby as we went what I wanted. Now I'm gonna try to find a clip of what was here, where I'm pointing at right now in my kitchen. The pantries we originally put in here were $200 and something per single pantry at Lowe's. I hated them. They were single and they went straight back. There was, I think, 3 shelves in each one. They fit in there perfectly. I thought I had it all with those. But unfortunately, whenever I wanted to do anything, I had to pull everything out. Even though I tried to organize it, I still had to pull everything out to get to what I was wanting or needing to cook with. So in the end, I came up with this idea. We found, I looked online, and I have in one of my videos what was my inspiration and what we ended up with and what worked for us. And what I told Bobby I wanted, and he built that. I didn't want cubbies like was in my inspiration. I wanted these open shelves straight across. And these jars, if you want to know where I got them, the bigger jars, I can give you the link and the information. They're online. You can order them. Don't order them on Amazon. They're more expensive. You pay for each individual jar so much more than a set of 4 through the company. Now with prices going up, I don't know how that will be. We did these about 6-7 months ago, I'm guessing time-wise. And then my Amazon, my spice jars I got on Amazon, and my spice rack. I don't have a link to that, but if you go in there, or if you have questions, I can at least give you the information of how I did my spice jars, what I labeled them with, because the spice jars, when I got them, said it come with labels, but they were lousy. They didn't work. I had to order different. They looked cheap, and I was not wanting that. So I ordered different labels to go on my spice jars. One of the things that was really weird is cayenne pepper is one of their seasoning labels that was missing, and I'm thinking cayenne's like in everything for, like, you know, different types of food. It'd be like missing paprika to me, or salt or pepper. You know, those are a normal thing that you would have in your kitchen, at least for me. I thought that was odd that they didn't have cayenne pepper, but overall they had everything covered, from adobo to all kinds of different things that I couldn't even imagine. So, you know, dream big, start small. And if it's even with deco or some jars, like my little mini jars, these are the ones I started with. I started with those. That's why I have so many. With canning, it was my obvious thing to do. I could seal those. I have a airtight canner for doing dry goods, and I could seal them. But because I use these every day, I don't do that. These don't have to be that way. But I could if I wanted to. But I would always have that thing pulled out to keep it airtight. But that's what I started with for storing things, but it wasn't big enough for what I wanted to do, and I wanted a bigger jar. So I found my way to them, and I really love them. Those are a gallon up there on those big ones, and these are a ½ gallon. So I hope this answers some of y'all's questions, and I hope you find the video today finding you well, blessed, nourished, and you're comfortable and safe, and your family and your loved ones are healthy and safe. And I just pray over you. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. My throat's getting dry. So I think that means it's time to go. But I pray that the Lord, you know, bless you, and He keep you, and He cause His face to shine upon you, and He meet all your needs. God bless you all. I'm so grateful for all the subscribers and for all the comments. I feel blessed. I love y'all, and I just thank you, and I praise the Lord for you being in my life. And I tell the Lord all the time in my prayers, Lord, this channel is yours, and bring me the people that need to be here and those that need to hear encouragement and ideas. So it's His. I give Him all the glory for it. I've wanted to start this channel years ago, and I never did. So I'm starting it now. I'm grateful for the channel. I praise the Lord for it. And so, you know, I just hope that Y'all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I'm trying not to make this video too long. I'm not going to edit it. It's going to be pretty raw. And oh, here's the other part of my marble table. Whoops. I almost dropped my camera. So anyway, my silverware is actually in this drawer. It's in a little tray thing. It's in there in a messy place. And then there's a teapot and all kinds of things in there. And then here's my parchment papers and my bags for doing my breads and things. Like if you can order these bread bags online, and the twist ties come with it so that you can make your loaves of bread. And I'm going to show you in a different video how I make my bread for our sandwich bread. I make hot dog rolls. I make hamburger buns, things like that. This is banana blueberry bread with a crumb topping, and it's delicious. I just got that out of the freezer yesterday for Bobby and I, and he got sent some with work, his lunch today for work. But anyway, I think that's about it. That covers most of it. It's just Bobby and I and Lolly in the house, so we don't, you know, it's just the two of us with Lolly, our dog, and yeah, it works for us, and we're really happy with our kitchen. Well, God bless y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you will. And I'd love to hear from you. I really would. And I'll answer the comments as soon as I see them. And if they get lost in there, just re-comment. Because sometimes I get so many that when I'm going through, it's not like many compared to some. I go through them and they're missing. And I'm like, where is that one? Because I'll see it in another place and I'll go to comment and I can't comment. And I don't know why. I'm still learning, y'all. I'm still learning about how to do all this. So I thank you for the grace you're letting me have in the learning curve, and for the editing and things like that, because I'm definitely just learning all of this. Please, if you want me to do clean with me's and spring cleaning and decorating or anything like that, I just want to know what you would like to see on my channel so that I can point myself in that way, to make, you know, it fun for you to view my videos and things like that. I try not to be too chatty, but I'm a chatty person, and y'all, I don't have a lot of people to talk to, so actually I don't have anyone to really I talk to outside of Bobby. So it's really nice to get on here and be able to talk with y'all. And I talk to Jesus all the time. Praise him for listening to me. And he loves me no matter how many blunders I make. He just loves me. He loves you too. He loves you. Jesus loves you. So I give him all the glory and the honor. And I thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next time.